Hello and good morning. It's a very hot morning. Got a little job with the LT today. I'm going to collect my uncle's Toyota Hilux, as that needs a load of work doing to it to get it through its MOT. It's the first time I've used the tow bar on the back of this van since I fitted it a couple of months back. As ever, it's not quite as straightforward as it would be nice to be. The trailer I'm using is buried at the very back of the barn. It's got another trailer in front of it, so I need to pull that out of the way. Not only that, it's also got a Mercedes V8 engine sat on it out of a lorry. Actually, technically it's out of a snowblower, but it's a great big Mercedes V8 sat on this trailer. It's been sat on there. I brought it about 3 years ago now. I've never lifted it off the trailer. It sounds really bad. I'm going to try and use the Ford 4000 with the front loader to lift it off. I think it will lift it. It's just a question of whether or not I've got enough weight to keep the back end down. I have lifted a V6 plus gearbox once. I shouldn't have done that. That was too much as well. So I know it should be able to lift it. It's just a case of whether or not I can lift it without the back coming up, and whether or not I can actually move it once it's lifted. So gonna do that, and hopefully we can then run up the road and pick up my uncle's Hilux and see how we get on. So this is what we've come to collect. It's a 2006 Reg Hilux. Belongs to my uncle. He's had it since brand new. He's gotten very attached to it, as we do. I've just had the ignition on. It's literally on 298,000 miles. And you know what? The engine's never been apart on this, and I've just started it. It starts like a gun still. Out of all the Hiluxes he's had, this has got to be by far the best in terms of what's poked up with his abuse, so I can understand why he's reluctant to let it go. It's been off the road for about, I want to say maybe a year. So yeah, so this is part of the problem. It's this rear tub is completely rotted away, especially on the offside, oddly enough. Yeah, down here, completely rotted out here. I know where there is one for sale. It's not a million miles away, so I'm going to do some measurements to see if one of these rear tubs will fit in the back of our van up on this end, so I'm using the trailer. If that's the case, then chances are all I'll do is I'll change the rear tub. Needs the brakes looking at, probably wants a service. Headlights need rubbing back, and we'll see how we get on. So yeah, we'll get the ramps out and see if I get it loaded up.
Sounds about right.
Right, so we're all hooked up, loaded up, ready to go now. I did do some calculations before I come up here to make sure I was all within my weight ranges. So according to Google, the heaviest these trucks come was 2.2 tonne. That trailer's about 1.1 tonne, so I'm within the 3.5 tonne towing weight. The van weighs about 2.2 tonne as it stands, and I know for this van I've got 5.5 tonne train weight. So yeah, let's go. So I thought I'd just show you the underside of this whilst we got it up in the trailer. So the tub's rotten, we know that. The chassis's actually got quite a lot of rot on it as well. So I'm going to have to deal with that. So fortunately, once the tub's off, it should be easy to get to. Both the shocks have come away from the chassis. But interestingly, even though that looks really rotten, just ahead of that front spring hanger, I don't know if you can see it, but just ahead of that front spring hanger, the chassis actually looks really good. So it's a bit bizarre, sort of like a proper north-south divide on the rust on this. So yeah, primarily it's tub, sort of its rear chassis. I don't know if I can, I'm hoping it's mostly just surface and I can tidy it up. And then, although that's working its way through there, so we'll have to see what we can do with this chassis. But fortunately, like I say, it's only the rear bit. And then after that, it's brakes, a tyre or two, and hopefully she should go into her test. So yeah, right, we'll get this dropped off now. about it for today. I've finally got everything packed away. I managed to put that big V8 at the back of the barn now. I didn't record any of that because it was an absolute handful, and I really was pushing it, that tractor. I shouldn't have been lifting that much weight with that tractor, but unfortunately I know that tractor can do it. It's not meant to do it, not in the slightest, but I know I can. But yeah, the truck's put away, trailer's put away, everything's been put back away. I would go and pick the hottest day of the year so far to go and do all this. I'm absolutely dripping. So I'm just about to head home and get showered. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you found it interesting, and I'll see you in the next one.